Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to share with you some of the new items that I have added to my collection recently. Okay, so I wanted to share with you some of the items in that I've added to my collection, and you may have seen some of them up there during one of my recent videos. But I wanted to kind of go just a little bit of a up and close look at some of these items. So some of them are James Bond, and other items are not. And so let's start with how about the non James Bond items first? Let's do that first. So I have some Star Trek items that I have found recently. So one was this the USS Enterprise NCC 1701D. And these are, I wasn't sure if this was like a puzzle at first, but it's a tin. And inside the tin are playing cards. Playing cards. But on the back side of the playing cards are the Star Trek cards. So here's one of the Enterprise. Here's one of the crew. And I'm looking at the pictures going, oh, this is like early. This is kind of like early seasons. So that's pretty cool. And they were still wrapped. It was still wrapped. So unopened. So I snagged that. So that was pretty fun find. I wonder, is there a year on here somewhere? No. Nope. Not on the tin anyway. Okay, what's next? Next, another Star Trek item. Along with those were this Star Trek, the original series, special edition Uno cards. Now, I do enjoy Uno from time to time, but this was also in a tin. And instructions were still in there. And again, it was half unwrapped. Here's a Wild Draw 4, and it's a Klingon bird of prey. But yeah, Star Trek Uno. It was half unopened. So half, one deck was opened, the other one was still sealed. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the pictures. Scotty. We got, let's see, I'm going to come around. Scotty, we got a Klingon. There's Kirk. Number one is Kirk. Number 2 is Spock. Sulu. Here's a draw 2. Phasers firing. Double triple. Wild draw 4. A reverse. The Mirror Universe. That's actually pretty good. I kind of didn't look through these too much. Skip. Yeah, the time gate there. So you just skip. That's good. That's kind of interesting. It's Nurse Chapel. Number 9. Let's see. Oh, there's Uhura. There's Bones, number 3. So there we go. That's pretty. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's Chekhov, number 8. So there we go. There we go. So Star Trek Uno. So next time we're having game night and we play Uno, I'm gonna have to break those out. I think that'll be fun. Okay. Last item that was Star Trek. I found 3 items that were Star Trek. This was just kind of a very interesting find that I could not ignore. It was a Star Trek Next Generation personal communicator. Now this is dated 1992. So 1992, official Starfleet communicator device, actual lights and sounds from the Star Trek TV show. And I keep forgetting I got to get a battery for it, but here it is out of the package. So there it is. And it's got a button. right here. See if we can hear it. No, not really. But there's the button. This button right here in the middle. That should activate everything. And there is a compartment for a battery back here. I'm not exactly sure what kind it takes. And there is now the interesting way it goes on. It looks like this little piece right here goes on the inside of your shirt, and then it pushes into that part right there, and that's what fastens it to your shirt. It's kind of big and heavy. So I'm not sure if it's not going to just be on your shirt and be like drooping. It'll be interesting to see how that works. But I found that the other day, and I was like, being a Star Trek fan, I don't have a Star Trek communicator. Now I finally do. Okay, now I got some more Funko Pops, and that I found, and these were like $3 a piece. I found at Goodwill, and they were all Stranger Things. So got Steve from Stranger Things. I think now this might be my son and I. We were thinking this might be season 2 of Stranger Things because he actually has on his uniform from his job, and I don't think it's the video store, but so he's got on his uniform. But there's Steve, and then after Steve, I'm gonna make some room here. I believe this was season 1. It's Will. So got Will. That was pretty cool. And there were several of them, but this was the one I went with because there were several 11s. But out of all the 11s that I saw sitting there, I was just like, I want this one. I want season 1 11 with the Agos. I thought that was great. I thought that was really cool. So, yep, I got a Steve, I got a Will, and I got an 11 with Agos. Yeah, found those at Goodwill for $3. All right, moving on with the last of my non-Bond items, because everything else I found was James Bond related. And then one last thing I have a new prop that I made for up there. This is really close to Bond, but it was some books I found. The Saint. And whenever I think of The Saint, I always think of Roger Moore, of course. And when I get around to reading these, whenever the Saint speaks, I will be hearing Roger Moore's voice in my head for sure. This is the first Saint book, the very first one, The Saint Abroad. So this was the first Saint book. And then I got several of the others. The Saint in Europe. Let's put these back in order. The Saint in Europe. The Saint on the Spanish Main. The Saint, the Brighter Buccaneer. And the Saint, Thanks to the Saint. So I found these the other day at Goodwill. I was like, of course I will grab those books. Because, I think they were like 99 cents a piece. And then the other day when my son was hitting Goodwills and looking for books that he wants, he found me this one. 007 Carte Blanche. Carte Blanche by Jeffrey Deaver, a new James Bond novel. And let's see, what does it say? It says, based on the legendary character created by Ian Fleming, James Bond is back. They don't really tell what the story's about, but let's see. Okay, let's see. James Bond, in his early 30s and already a veteran of the Afghan War, has been recruited to a new organization. Conceived in the post 9/11 world, it operates independent of MI5, MI6, and the Ministry of Defense. It's very extensive, deniable. Oh, its very existence its very existence deniable. Its aim to protect the realm by any means necessary. So Bond is going to be infiltrating another organization. So yeah, that was a nice find that my son got. And something else that he saw. Well, let's see. Let me go something else first. This I found the other day. The car from Thunderball. And yeah, this one, let's see, what is this one? This one is the Ford Mustang, Thunderball Ford. But you know what? Now that I'm showing this, I might have shown this one already. I might be dipping into something I've already shown. But yeah, but this one was kind of cool. I mean, I got it mostly for that it was, since it was Bond related. They could have probably put any old Ford Mustang in there, and I probably wouldn't have gotten it. But because this one was from Thunderball, of course, I'm going to grab this one. All right, so there's that. Okay, how about a couple more Funko Pops that I got? So, found Odd Job. We got Odd Job. That was a good find. Found this wasn't at Goodwill. This was at some other store, and I mean, I was shocked. They had these going for around, I think it was less than $5 for these. I was really shocked. And then this one I paid a little extra for, because it's James Bond from the Quantum of Solace. So there he is with the rifle. And it says from Quantum of Solace, but I don't know. So here they are. Here's the different ones. It says from Quantum of Solace, but that's like the scene from the very end of Casino Royale, where he's standing over Mr. White and just shot him in the kneecap. So that's how I view this one. I view this one personally kind of as in Casino Royale. All right. So just a few more items. I did get another entire series of books because my son saw them sitting there, and he's just like, "Hey, Dad, these are Bond books." And I looked at them just like, this is interesting. I haven't seen these before. And he looks at it, and we looked it up, and it was the whole series just sitting there. And it is Young Bond. Meet Bond, James Bond. Literally says Young Bond on here. And there's the whole series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these books. Silverfin, Blood Fever, Double or Die, Hurricane Gold by Royal Command. And so it's not going to be hard reading. It's not big print, but these were all like brand new. That could be a bad sign. I mean, maybe somebody started one just like, oh, these are horrible, and didn't want to read the rest of them. I don't know. But I'm very curious, because this is supposed to be Young Bond. I don't know what all is going to be taking place with these books, but let's see. Let's look at the contents of this one. This one here, it says contents: Blood in the Water, Part 1, Eaton, Number 1, The New Boy. And I don't know. Is Bond the new boy? Is this like his training when he goes through training? Is this supposed to be like James Bond Jr.? I don't know. I'm not sure. But this is the first one. Here's the second one. I'll show them all to you real quick. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So there's all those. So I thought that was a pretty good find. All right. second to last item. Second to last item is another book. I found this in Goodwill one day, and I was just like, "Oh, you know what? I think I mean, I've kind of got enough of the material of up to this point." But then I regretted not grabbing it. Of course, that's how it usually goes. If you see something Bond related and then you don't get it, you're going to regret it. So I did find it again. Finally, James Bond, The Legacy. Now this is a huge book. I mean, it's not terribly thick, but this is a massive book. It's big, full of pictures. It only goes up to Pierce Brosnan Bond era. Now, let me tell you why I kind of feel that that's fitting in a book like this. Somebody had in a video a while back, they were thinking of Daniel Craig's Bond almost like a shoot off or a standalone series of Bond. I can kind of see where people would think that, where because it broke from a lot of the traditional Bond, kind of did its own thing, had its own beginning, had its own ending. So it almost seems like it really was just kind of an offshoot of Bond. It was kind of its own little thing. Um, this book kind of covers Bond up to that point of where everything kind of went off on its own with Daniel Craig's Bond. But the pictures in here, let's try to let's try to get to some of these pictures. And there's Ian Fleming there. All right. But yeah, big pictures. And things influenced by Bond. There we go. GoldenEye, The Jump, Timothy Dalton. Oh, License to Kill. But look at all these wonderful pictures in here from some of the older movies. Posters. This book had a lot of great pictures in it, and I'm looking forward to really spending some time just looking it over. I haven't had time yet. It's a recent find, so I haven't had much time yet. But just looking it over is going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to that. Now, last item. My goodness, I cannot believe how much time has gone by already. Last item. This is a prop that I made myself, and it's not screen accurate, but it's just kind of a prop I made. So this was my prop inspired by The Spy Who Loved Me. In the very beginning ski scene, Roger, he's got the red hat on, the yellow goggles. Now, I had to paint these goggles. I had to paint them because finding goggles this color of yellow, really hard. One day, you never know. I might find the actual like screen accurate ones out there, and then I'll grab them, and then I will have them. Till then, I just wanted to make the prop. So I've got the hat. Now this is the right brand. It's Scott brand ski goggles, but I just couldn't get the right color, and so I painted a red pair of them yellow, and then the band was turned inside out in for the movie to give the white strap along the side. This was a red and black stripe on the outside. But I really wanted to make a prop for that. When I looked on eBay, looking at like the goggles and the hat, and that they had kind of designed it this way when they were selling the prop, and I was just kind of like, I feel like I could make that. So I did, and it'll just go on display. It'll be fun to have up there. And that's that. That's it. That's my latest haul, in additions to the collection. And my goodness, I cannot believe I've been doing this for 20 minutes. It didn't seem like it was going to take that long, but quite a few items I found. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you made it to the end, please hit the like. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Currently, when I look at it, I'm just under 600. A couple more subscribers, and I'll be to 600. I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be really, really nice if it did. And sorry, I keep looking off to the monitor instead of the camera. Sorry about that. I can't help it. I see the motion over here, and that's where I keep looking. I'll get better at this someday. All right. Well, again, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.